Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Wellness Wednesday webinar. I'm Tatiana. I'm a registered associate nutritionist and working in the ESS Nutrition and Wellbeing team. Today, I'm going to be talking you through the importance of hydration. So we're just going to whiz through about why we need fluid, what happens if we don't get enough, how to work out how to tell if you're dehydrated or not, how to work out how much you need, where can we get it from, and the kinds of drinks that do count. So to start off with, why do we need fluids? Well, most of our body is actually made up of water, but this can vary with age. And this is really important because it's the basis of our body fluids and is essential for a range of functions. So things like temperature regulation, transport of nutrients in the blood, it helps our digestive system, it helps keep our skin healthy, and so on. And it's really important that we're continually drinking enough as we continually lose our fluids throughout the day through breathing or urine or sweat. Now, if we don't get enough, it can cause a range of different symptoms. So it's important to monitor our temperature. So usually if we feel hotter, we need to drink more. And this is because we're going to have increased perspiration and this could make us become more dehydrated. If we then become dehydrated, in the short term, it can cause headaches, dizziness. It can have us. It can cause us to have lack of concentration, maybe feel a bit irritable and grouchy. And then longer term, it can cause a few other issues, so things like urinary tract infections or kidney stones. So it's really important that we're regularly taking in fluids throughout the day. So how do you know if you're getting enough fluid? Well, simply waiting for the sensation of thirst is not a good enough sign of need to drink. So actually, by the time we feel thirsty, our body is already about 2% dehydrated, and we could potentially be suffering some of the negative side effects of this. Um, Equally, drinking just to eliminate the feeling of thirst doesn't necessarily fully hydrate our body. So the best way to tell if we are hydrated or not is actually by our urine colour. Now, it should be a pale straw colour, almost clear, and this indicates that we are hydrated, but a darker coloured urine could be a sign that the body needs more fluid. So on this scale, we should be aiming for 1, 2, or 3. 4 and 5 indicates that we are dehydrated, and 6, 7, and 8 indicates that we are very dehydrated. So how much do I need? Well, the amount of fluid needed varies between different people. But most of us will need about 1.5 to 2 litres of fluid each day. So this is about 6 to 8 glasses, 6 to 10 glasses. And this can look different depending on the kind of glasses or drinks that you're drinking. So a normal standard glass would be about 200 millilitres, a mug 250, a pint glass just under 500, a bottle 500, and a can 330. So it's just important to remember that whatever you're drinking, it can contribute, and the different amounts add up to our 1.5 to 2 litres per day. But where do we actually get it from? So 80% of our hydration comes from our drinks, but actually 20% also comes from the food that we eat. So it varies in different foods. So less than 40% of cereal products are made up of water. So although these seem dry, there could be some water in them. So things like bread and pasta and so on. And then we've got 40 to 70% in hot meals. So for example, if you think of something with a sauce that has water in it, and then fruit and vegetables are mostly water. So think about watermelon and other juicy kind of fruits, which are mostly made up of water. And then we've got cow's milk and dairy, which is full of vitamins and minerals as well as protein, but it is also mainly water. So what actually should be counting towards our hydration? Well, ideally water from a tap is much better than bottled if we're thinking about the environment and sustainability. Tea and coffee does also count, but watch out for your caffeine intake. sugar-free drinks, so things like sugar-free squash also counts, lower fat milk, and then sports drinks as well, but these are only necessary when doing high level endurance exercise. What doesn't count is alcohol or sugar sweetened drinks, so things like cola, fizzy drinks, squash, or flavoured water, energy drinks, and flavoured milks and milkshakes, and then fruit juices and smoothies. And these can be consumed and counted once, but we should limit our consumption to 150 millilitres per day. And this is just due to the free sugar content, which can cause damage to our teeth. It's important just to remember that drinks with added cream or full fat milk can provide more calories and a higher fat content. So these are not generally recommended within our healthy eating guidelines. So drinks like creamy hot chocolates or really sweet coffees are best considered to be treats. So that leads me nicely into, does tea and coffee count? Well, there has been a bit of confusion in this category, particularly when we're looking at coffee, as many people think it doesn't count because it contains caffeine. But actually, tea and coffee do count towards our hydration, but just try to avoid adding a lot of sugar or whole milk or cream. Be aware of the amount of caffeine that you're consuming. So some people are more sensitive to caffeine, and this can have an effect on their sleep. As well as this, caffeine is a mild diuretic, so this could mean it can make us a bit more dehydrated. There's currently no guidelines for caffeine consumption apart from during pregnancy, and this is to have no more than 200 milligrams of caffeine per day. And how much is that? Well, just to give you an idea, 1 mug of instant coffee is about 100 milligrams of caffeine. So it can vary from person to person, and it's completely individual to you. So why do I need to decrease my sugary drink intake? Well, a high consumption of sugary drinks is closely linked with obesity and weight gain. So, if we consume too much sugar, it can also be linked to dental caries as well. Fruit juice and smoothies, as I mentioned before, they do count. However, they should be limited to 150 millilitres per day. And this is because they are a source of free sugars. Now, free sugars are basically any sugars that are added to food or drink products, or those that are found naturally in honey, syrups, and unsweetened fruit juice or smoothies. So basically, the sugar in the fruit juice and smoothies are free sugars because when they're blended up, the natural sugar that has already been trapped in the cell structure of our whole fruits and vegetables are released, and this makes the sugar more available to damage the teeth and faster to absorb by the body. As well as this, the fibre is lost, so it's actually really easy to consume extra sugar without realising. So, for example, you wouldn't eat 4 oranges in a row, but you might drink that juice in one glass of orange juice without feeling full. However, saying that, it is really important to remember that our fruit juice and smoothies are still really a great source of vitamins and minerals, and they are absolutely fine to include as part of a healthy and balanced diet. So, can you get more hydration from sports drinks? Well, often people believe that they need to consume sports drinks when exercising, but it's actually only necessary for those who are training at a higher level. So, usually only for endurance sports that are lasting longer than 90 minutes. Um, they do contain electrolytes, carbohydrates, and sodium, and these are really important to replace things that we lose through sweat, as well as helping hydrate us more quickly. It's important to note though, but due to their extra carbohydrate contents, they've got sugar in them, they can be higher in calories, and the sugar in them can also increase our risk of tooth decay. So after exercise, yes, it is really important that we do hydrate, but one really cool way that we can do this and work out how much we need is to weigh ourselves before and after exercise, and then make sure that we drink 150% times the amount of fluid that we've lost. So for example, if you weighed 75 kilos before your exercise and 74 kilos after, you've lost 1 kilogram. So then you need to multiply that by 1.5, and that shows that you need to drink 1.5 litres. You don't need to drink this straight away after your exercise, but within 4 to 6 hours of your exercise, just to make sure that you replace those fluids and hydrate. So, how much alcohol can I drink? Well, sadly, alcohol does not count towards our hydration. It actually has a diuretic effect, which can make us feel more dehydrated. But the government guidelines currently say that we should drink no more than 14 units per week and spread our drinking over 3 or more days. So 14 units is about 6 pints of beer or 6 medium glasses of wine, just as a guidance. And as well as this, it's really important to remember that alcohol is actually really calorie dense. So it contains 7 calories per gram. And this doesn't include the other things that you might consume while you're drinking. So your snacks at the pub, your cheesy chips on the way home, or your fry up the next morning. So if we're consuming alcohol, it's just really important to consume it in moderation. So, as well as all of this, it's really important that we need to look out for different things in each season. So, in the spring or the summer, we will need to drink more due to the warmer weather, and then we're going to be sweating and breathing more, which is going to mean that we are losing more fluid. However, we need to be watching out for the sugar content of all of these drinks. Similarly, in winter, there's a misconception you don't need to drink as much, but you do still need to be drinking throughout the day. But you need to watch out for drinks with added cream or full fat milk, as these provide more calories and higher fat intakes and not generally recommended within our healthy eating guidelines. So watch out for drinks like creamy hot chocolates, which again are best considered to be treats. So, just to conclude, a few tips to drink a bit more water or fluids. It'd be great if you can keep a reusable water bottle with you at all times. This will help remind you to drink little and often throughout the day. Refill it regularly. This is a really good excuse to get up from your desk as well and go to the tap to fill up your water bottle. If you do struggle to drink water, adding a bit of flavour can be really useful. So, adding in a bit of sugar-free squash or slices of fruit or mint or cucumber just to add a bit more flavour. If you try to have a glass of water with every meal, this is a really good way to make sure that you're drinking a bit more water. And then you could also set yourself reminders, so maybe every hour or so to go and get a glass of water. And as I've mentioned before, just keep having little sips throughout the day and make sure that you're topping up those fluids and staying hydrated. So, just in summary, all non-alcoholic drinks can contribute to our hydration, but some also contain essential vitamins and minerals. However, many drinks are also high in sugars and contain energy and calories, so it's important not to forget about these, as these calories do contribute to our daily intake in the same way that foods do. And as I've mentioned before, if we're having a higher consumption of sugary drinks, it has been associated with an increased risk of type 2 diabetes as well as weight gain. Um, so, just in summary, try and drink tap water, carry your reusable water bottle, think about your caffeine content if caffeine affects you, and don't forget that all drinks can still contribute to calories in our diets. Everything from me, but just a little reminder about our wellness newsletter. This comes out each month. If you would like to receive a copy of it in your inbox, just send us an email at ess.wellness@compass-group.co.uk. We also are on social media, so TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for We Are ESS. And then we are also always on hand to answer any of your nutrition and wellbeing questions. So please feel free to drop our team an email. We're also available to come and support at health fairs or health committee meetings, or to put on specialised webinars of a topic of your choice. So please do get in touch. Then if you've had any questions from today, please send us an email. But thank you very much for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.